So in the clinch, the basic grips, you're probably all familiar with this. Sometimes we call it a butterfly, but you call it a Greco gable. Okay, it's just a hand over. Okay, these are used a lot in body locks. Okay, very powerful, very, very strong grip, hard to break. So that's why we use it in body locks. Another grip is the S grip. This is good for, we usually use that in cradles, things like that, some leg captures. And the great thing with that is if you only catch a piece of your hand, you can wrap it up. And then there's all this flexibility of putting in, there's some moves too where you get your knuckles in, depending on the position, especially like gut wrenches and stuff. So, but anyways, the other grips that we're going to be using is, you might be familiar, this is called a collar tie. So with your basic collar tie, just bending these so you got a little bit of movement so you're comfortable. With just this collar tie and not using anything else, I can control him very well. I can pull him down, I can push, and if you look when I'm doing it, if you guys can see here, I'm putting my elbow right in the center of his chest, okay? And I'm going to push and pull, I'm going to work him with this collar tie. He can't do anything, he can't shoot or do any move until he removes this. It's a good stalling technique. It also sets up other moves, okay? And if this collar tie, I'm probably going to put in some head work. Alright? So we'll come back. So again, this is basically a collar tie. I want you to get used to these terms because I'm going to use them. So then another one, basic, is an underhook. Okay? Underhook is here. This is shallow. This is deep. Okay? The deep ones you're going to use, you can see, I control them, force them down. Okay? Shallower ones are probably going to be used to get past and move him. But this is your basic underhook. We will probably do an underhook series if I got some time. Underhooks are great. I love underhooks. Then you've got your whizzer, okay, which is just basically here. I've got this, and from here, actually, it's probably better to demonstrate here. If you look, I'm up here. With the whizzer, this is actually more of a defensive move, but you've got a lot of things you can do from here, right? You got control. Usually you combine this with head, okay? But when you do it, you're going to lock up tight, pull this in tight, and you're going to work up here, and you're going to push your hand up here or across here, depending on what move you're doing. Doesn't feel very nice, does it? Then another thing that I really like, basic, is what's called this is an elbow tie. So what you're going to do, it comes from, whether you came off a bicep grip, it comes here, and if you look, this is great because he's got sleeves. You're going to do a pinch. Your hands just naturally slide into here, and when you pinch, you're going to grip hard. He's going to have bruises. You're going to grip very, very hard. But you look, all that pull. When I've got this tight, no matter what he does with this arm, I got control, right? I can do whatever I want with this. Okay, this is a really powerful grab. You know, it's better than a shirt grab because it'll go even through a shirt. You'll still hook in there. Okay? So this is called an elbow tie. And when you wrestle, you'll have tons of bruises right on the inside of here of your arm. Okay? And it's this pinch. It's not these fingers. It's this finger and this finger. And you're going to grind them in, and you need a really strong grip. Okay? Because guys get slippery and sweaty. And this will still work with a sweaty guy, but only if you can crush people like this. Okay? But it works. It's a very good tie. Another one called bicep tie or bicep block. I personally love this in clinch work. If you look, all I'm doing is riding his bicep. This is great from all sorts of things because I can use it to pop under. I can block him. Even if we're up against a wall or something and we're doing even MMA, he can't punch me. I can do my, whatever I want. This is preventing him from doing something. I can switch to body locks. I can go around. There's a lot you can do with this control. It's a really nice block, easy to get. So if someone's got in a collar tie, I'm going to come in. I'm going to use to break it. Right? I might come in. I'll push a little bit here. Set up my bicep tie to break it, and now I've got, I might sink an underhook. I love this position. This is one I like to work with. I've got a lot that I can do from here. But these, I just want you to be familiar with these terms. Okay, so you can see this, you get a lot of control with each of these type of techniques. And so when you're in a clinch, whatever work if you got an underhook, part of it is head control. Remember I talked about your head? One of the great places, if I'm on the side here, I'm going to drive my head this way. He's not going to like this. Okay? I'm controlling him with just my head. Sorry, I shouldn't be working so hard on my head. And other moves, you know, if you're doing any body walks, I've got my chin here, I can push him off balance. When you're on the ground, I'm going to drive my head and chin and shoulders, right? I'm going to block arms with just my head. I might do moves like this, right? I'll use my head, I'm going to move this and I'll set up my leg, whatever I'm doing. I'm going to use my head as my lever, okay? It's great. Like working the shoulder, wherever. Use your head. In every move, your head's got to be active. It's doing something. It's not just out there looking around. Okay? Make sure your head's being used all the time. You're attacking with it, or you're attacking your opponent's head. Your head is always in motion, being used. Okay? Especially in the clinch. You want to win the head fight. There's going to be a big head fight. You're going to make sure you're always winning it. Okay, so when you're in, you're going to make sure that he's not pushing you and like drive your head to my side. Okay, I don't want, actually you want to be higher. You want to push into my temple and be not nice. So if he pushes at my temple, he's pushing my head off. So when I feel that, I'm going to switch, I'm going to grind back. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I get my head into his temple. It depends on the move. There's different places you want your head. But I just want you to get it in your head, but you need to use your head. Okay, very, very important in clinch.